Welcome to the Boosted Fam, everyone. Today, I'm a very stingy individual, but I actually like holding this in my hand and actually spinning for once, because that means this week, we think the 1972 Power Choke 6.0 is going to be started up this week, so they asked for more money, for more parts, so, well, whatever it takes to get this project started. We are sitting at about 14 months into the project, but I've got big goals for this week, next week, and the following weeks. For this project by Christmas, I'm expecting this thing to be completely ridiculous and awesome. Worst comes to worst, if this video does have to hold off till next week, we still got an awesome video for the Jeep this week. So this will be the intro either way, but we have great goals for this week for the 72 Power Choke and the Jeep. Here we go, guys. The Jeep is nice and ready. And today what we're actually gonna do, we are gonna go by JB Auto Works. This guy is an absolute expert with this stuff and off-roading. He is actually an off-road racer. Y'all might know him, his name's John. I will put some type of description or link down below on this guy. He has a ridiculous great resume, and he is just absolutely known for a 100-mile radius of this area of just being the guy to go to for Jeeps. So we're gonna take the bad boy over here just to clear up all the people saying, oh, we're gonna break it running 40s and, you know, the tire carry and all this stuff. If you all stayed late enough in the video, you all heard me say none of this will stay like this. It was a very, very temporary fix, and I know you can't just run 40s without expecting to break something without the upgrades. So it is time to go get the whole list of upgrades that he suggested for this and what we need to do to where this guy is absolutely reliable and we can go beat the living daylights of it off-road. Here we go, finally pulling up to JB Auto Works so the master of Jeeps can tell me how I'm screwing up. Few Jeeps sitting outside. Looks like a rock crawler over there, but flat tire. All right, so just real quick, so everyone knows kind of like where we're going with this. The few things I'm gonna go over with him, which he's gonna reiterate what exactly he thinks is best for all this stuff. Going over what everyone complained about in the last video when I fit the 40s on here, you know, what all it took, what I spent, all that stuff. A lot of the comments, I do read all the comments. A lot of them, well, I'd say 85% of the negative ones, they didn't even watch the whole video because they just complained about stuff I went over near the end of the video. But anyways, I am getting a aftermarket tire carrier. I'm not gonna let the city, or the... Sorry, blooper. The 40-inch tire sit back there on the stock carrier. I am going to upgrade that. We're going to upgrade the lift kit, which that was another thing people complained about, that I did a budget boost. That's literally just fit the tires until I could figure out what lift kit I wanted, go talk to John, see exactly what we need to do. I'm keeping my Dana 44s. I'm taking truss the front and rear, gust the front, upgrade the axles, the knuckles, all that stuff, because I don't off-road enough, like, every single weekend, or at least 2-3 days a week, to see the benefit in paying $15,000 to $20,000 for 60s. Sorry, don't see it. Throw a few grand in to make these more than compatible for the off-roading every other weekend, give or take, whenever we do it. So beef up the axles. Oh, then upgrade obviously the steering components. So lift kit, axle, steering, tire carrier. Then we're going to figure out what bumpers we want, but that's a little bit further down the road. I'm more worried about the function and performance of this thing right now than just the cosmetics. It looks pretty good as it sits. So anyways, we'll jump in here and let John tell us exactly what we need. All right, so we finally got the big girl in here, but here's John. John trying to show me up, also running 40s, but actually has the beadlocks long arm kit. Full roll cage. So this is a real Jeep, right? This is what we call a real Jeep. Full racing seats.
You can just spray off the floorboard, no carpet, and ain't gonna worry about the carpet. No radio.
No radio, yep. So he can go through a car wash like I did without any issues. Then he already has it set up for the coilovers running. How long is this shock?
32.
32 inches until the actual coils are here to install. 4-link, long arm. How big is it though? How big's the actual kit?
It's a 4.5-inch Terraflex.
And then most importantly, we gotta look at the best part. I'll let the master. of the trail
Well,
rig.
the grill didn't come with the hood, so it's a little.
There we go. Big boy swap, right? Surely this can take the 4-banger, right? The 4-banger? It'd take the 4-banger.
I would say you might have me above 80, but I think I probably. I think I could be.
I don't think these are supposed to go over 80.
This thing can run 90 mile an hour down the interstate with one finger on the.
I guess that's what happens when a master mechanic builds his own Jeep, right?
It took long enough.
Yeah, actually, I've been here one other time, and he was still in the process of building this. He still has a little few here's and there's he wants to fix, but thinking maybe one day, after he finishes building that one, maybe we can go on a trail together and not show me up too bad. I'm just a city boy.
Well, I'm not going to be as afraid to.
All right, so as I told you, get a real tire carrier. We're about to go look at the computer, see all that stuff. Going to truss the rear here, put an actual real lift kit, not this budget stuff as everyone was complaining about. Then actually, heck, what am I doing? What the heck am I doing? Get over here, truss, gust the front, upgrade the axles, knuckles, all that. Steering components, we're gonna go ahead and look at all that on the computer real quick, but eventually, hopefully, keep up with the bad boy over here. All right, going through it with the master over here. I keep calling him the master. Well, hopefully he lives up to it. That's what I've heard. All right, so we're looking at the 4.5-inch X Factor. So 2,500 bucks right there. Then we're gonna go over to.
Shocks.
We're looking at the Falcon shocks. He went ahead and installed these on one of them and said the adjustableness of them was awesome. So thinking.
Jeep I've driven.
Yep, there you go. Best riding Jeep he's ever driven in, and he builds Jeeps left and right. So that makes me feel really good and confident, especially for my wife. Then,
you want those sliders?
yep, need these for the wife, especially after that lift is on. And
they do take a beating. A friend of mine had a set he installed and went to Colorado and did all those trails, and he put them to test, and they are still working.
stellar. And then, yes, before everyone calls me out on it, it does say JK truss for the rear, but all of them say that they do match up and they're universal for JK and JL. So there's the rear one.
I was trying to find the, let's see.
Tire carrier. Yep.
Where's that front one at?
We got it in here. Maybe it was right there, and then there it is. Yep. First link. It's like we already looked for it. And then there's the front one with Gus for it to go ahead and beef up all of that. Then I say lastly,
We had some tire. We're looking at those Coopers.
Yeah. Looks like we're sticking with 40s just because the 42s that are out there to buy look like they are not for a daily driver. They're strictly for off-road or weekend driving only. So it looks like we're going to stick with some 40s for right now until a better 42 comes out. And then lastly, last thing we need to double check on is beefed up axle shafts. I'll go ahead and look at his steering upgrade that he has right here. He said it was roughly 1,700 bucks, came with everything. So that's what we're going to be looking to do for over here. And get rid of, you know, your nice little tiny Mopar. But I will give Jeep credit. They actually did start beefing everything up. But obviously not good enough for 40, so everything's got to go. Alrighty guys, we are back from the shop now, and I have my little cheat sheet here because my memory is just not that good. But anyways, also I'm going to give you, here just as soon as I'm done with this little cheat sheet, some of the parts came in for the 1972 F250. I really wanted to throw it into this video, but all they did was arrive. They haven't been put on yet, but it'll be a big hint on what type of power we're going to be really trying to push through this thing, or at least a decent hint. Alright then, so the prices for everything that I want, which I am not going to be the guy that goes and does this all in one weekend. I like the whole build process and being really excited about each part that comes in. If you do it all at once, well, you get excited one time versus, you know, like 10 times. Anyways, so the rock sliders with the step that comes out of it, they're for sale for 1,900 bucks for this little guy right now. I've already checked. Black Friday sale is already on for 1,600 bucks with lights in it. All right, then the Evo front and rear truss with the Gus for the front. Those come up together about 360 bucks, give or take a few bucks. I'm doing all this with no labor in it, but with labor, he said he could go ahead and have all that on there. I think it was for 700 bucks. That's welded, everything. Then a nice little rattle cam from me. The actual shafts, I'm not 100% sure yet. I really want the really nice ones, but they're like 1,400, 1,500 bucks, front then rear. So That one, not quite sure yet on that one, or you just may go a little bit upgraded chromoly ones. And then the rock crawler kit was 2.5 grand. So without parts and labor, or sorry, for only parts and no labor, man, whew, tongue tied today. It comes out with $6,000 with no labor in there at all. Now, granted, I have a little bit different things I want to do with this rough country. Sorry, man, we're upgraded. We're not doing rough country on this thing. What am I talking about? Rock crawler. Oh yes, and inside that $6,000 is also those $1,200 Falcon adjustable shocks as well, which we'll probably do that before the lift kit because where it has a 2-inch lift on it right now, those shocks are good for 2 to 4.5 inches. So boom, there you go. That will probably be one of our. I'm probably gonna go for the truss kit, have that thrown on there, and then the shocks, and then we'll go for the rest of the things. But anyways, so about $6,000. Then I myself, I'm going to try to do really kind of all of it, to be honest, except for the truss kit. I don't prep that stuff, then weld it. I'm not a welder, can't weld. I can solder. I used to solder, so I guess it's a lot bigger version. But anyway, but I'll probably put this rock crawler kit on myself in a video at some point in time. But then later on down the road, I am going to have John go ahead and put it in because we're going to custom paint it at some point in time. And then at that point in time, I don't trust me. I'm going to scratch it all to heck, get really mad, even though we're going to beat the crap out of it off trails. But anyways, it'd be nice to have it looking nice and pretty for, at least a week or two instead of me just screwing up when I put it on. But anyways, guys, the 1972, the AirDog 4G 165 is in for the 1972 6.0 power choke. So there's just to let you know that we will be trying to push some decent power through there, which also I needed some type of fuel system just to help, with the custom fuel cell that we're putting in there and everything. But anyways, that is next week, and we will specifically be going over that truck. I don't care if it's done. I don't care. We need a video on that truck for good updates. So that will be the very next video. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Stopping by for the first time, please subscribe. You all have a great day.